Hey everybody, doing a twofer on the sea stories today. So this one will be a quick one. I want to tell a story about a BT punch. So if you have a unsavory sailor in the Navy, if you have somebody that's not living up to being a quality sailor, they're called a shitbag, just what they're called. And usually you have special things in place for folks of this nature, right? In When you're on a ship, and again, especially when you have a newer sailor that may not be living up to his or her potential, hopefully not her, but the ladies are on the ships now, not a big deal, but wasn't when I was in. And I wouldn't do this to a lady anyway. But if you act like you have a metal project going on for the aircraft or whatever, and you tell them, we need you to go get a BT punch. And the snipes down below, down in the bilges, that's who has the BT punches. They'll know what you're talking about. You just go down and get the BT punch, and you'll be fine. Bring it back, and we got to fix this whatever you're making up. You're working on. Really, you're not working on anything. So the snipes live in the bottom of the ship. They don't live there, but they work there. Those are your engineering guys. Those are your boiler techs. Those are your machinist mates. Those are your engine men, your pipe fitters. Just dirty, grungy dudes that live in the bowels of the ship and just take care of all kind of nastiness down there. Just nasty. Somebody's got to do it. Those guys are a different breed. Let me tell you, different breed. They're always dirty, mean, stink, nasty. Anyhow, you give the guy directions that you're sending down to get the BT punch. And when he gets down there, of course, he checks in and he goes down to the boiler techs and touches base with them because that's who have the BT punches or the boiler techs. So when the sailor gets down there, he asks for a BT punch, and usually they say, "Okay, let's back here in the back. Come with me, and I'll get it for you." When they take the sailor to the back, they usually go and find the biggest, meanest boiler tech on the ship. And some of these dudes are freaking huge. Arms the size of freaking tree trunks. Big, big men. I don't know, I don't know if it's a prerequisite to be a boiler tech. I mean, there's some, not all of them, but man, I've seen some boiler techs that, man, their arms were as big as my thighs. Huge guys. Well, they get the sailor into the back of the room. They go find the biggest boiler tech. And he'll come into the room and say, "Hey, I hear you're needing a BT punch. Come over with me and I'll get it for you." Of course, the sailor follows. And mistake. Just a bad mistake. At that point, he'll usually say, "Hey, hang here," or whatever. And he'll kind of walk back and act like he's getting something out of the cabinets or whatever. And when that sailor's standing there not looking, that boiler tech will just cock back and just destroy him with a punch right in the arm, sometimes in the chest. I mean, just level the guy. And basically tell him, "There's your BT punch. Now get your butt out of here and get back up to where you belong." So if anybody ever asks you, if you're on a ship, a Navy ship, and they ask you to go get a BT punch, run. Unless you're a glutton for punishment, run. That's the story of the BT punch. And a lot of guys have come up with a lot of bruised arms, dragging their arm, can't lift it up for a day or two, bruised chests, all in fun. This is how the Navy has fun and keeps things sane at sea. Somebody will go down and ask for a BT punch, and they will just get whammed with a punch from the biggest BT in the department. Funny, good stuff. Hopefully you're enjoying this series. I'm going to play around with it. I'm going to try to get an intro to where maybe I have Anchors Away playing instead of my Buckeye Piper thing. So I'm going to play around with it, but I'm enjoying telling some of these stories. It brings back memories. You know what I may try to do too is dig out some old pictures and maybe put some pictures into the stories, maybe to illustrate them a little bit and actually give some flavor to what I'm talking about instead of just me talking and smoking. But again, I love telling these things. So if you love watching them, stick with me. Even if you don't, I love telling them. So it's something for me to look back on later in life. And anyhow, y'all take care. I'll probably be back and tell another story or two once I get on a roll. It brings back memories. That's the cool thing about this. I tell one story and 4 more pop into my head. So anyhow, wishing you all the blessings in the world. Take care of each other. Pay it forward. We'll catch you later. Have a great day, everybody.